Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm sharing something indulgent and so creamy homemade salted caramel ice cream. You're going to love this. This is so comforting, creamy, delicious, and extra flavorful. Let's get started. I'm going to be making this recipe in my Thermomix, but I'll give you tips on how you can do this on your stovetop as well, so stay tuned. Here is the sugar that I will be using in this recipe. It is called Gula Melaka, also known as palm sugar. This sugar is typically made from the sap of coconut palm and is very common in Southeast Asia. I like to use this because it has that rich caramel flavor to it and a note of butterscotch, so it is very nice. But if you don't have access to this, you can always make use of your brown sugar. This palm sugar when fresh can be easy to grind or grate, but as time goes on it becomes harder. So if you're not making use of the Thermomix, you want to find a way of grating this sugar or grinding it into powder. I like to mention that wherever you live in the world, you can always get this palm sugar from your Asian grocery store, because I have gotten it in Europe. I always have it at home, so it is not something difficult to get if you really want to use it. And I use it in a lot of my cooking, in my curries and all that, because it adds this nice rich flavor to my cooking. That said, so here is what my sugar is looking like after milling it in my Thermomix. Do not worry, if you're using the Thermomix for this recipe, I'll make list of all the settings in the description box so that you can know what to do. But if you're not using the Thermomix, just go ahead to grate your sugar or blend it or whatever and put it in a pan. At this stage, you're going to dump in your vanilla extract, your butter, and some honey, and you're going to put your stove on medium heat, and you're going to continuously stir this. If it is bubbling or boiling too quickly, you want to turn down the heat. But for the Thermomix will do everything for me. If you make use of the Thermomix, just put it on your varoma and cook it for 15 minutes. So if you're doing it on the stove, you want to follow the same process. Just cook everything and keep stirring it for about 10 minutes, I would say. What the Thermomix is doing is then cooking the butter and the sugar and building the flavor. I went ahead to crack my eggs. I'm making use of 8 small eggs. I went ahead to measure my whole milk and my heavy cream as well, or my double cream. So do not worry, I'm going to list out all the ingredients in the description box, so you do not have to worry. I'll leave the recipe for the Thermomix, and I will leave the recipe also for cooking it on the stove. Once the timer has gone off on the Thermomix, you're going to come in with your salt. You're going to come in with your milk, and you're going to come in with your heavy cream. Here, I do not have access to heavy cream, unfortunately, or double cream, so I'm making use of my whipping cream. But the heavy cream or the double cream gives me a better result. But no stopping me when I need to do something. I'm just going to go for it. So anyway, I'm going to whisk this on the Thermomix for about 30 seconds. So if you're doing this on the stove or by hand, you're going to use your electric mixer or your hand mixer just to whisk everything together. Whisk as much as you can, maybe for about a minute, and that's it. And you're going to return it back to the heat. Add your eggs and beat it for maybe another 20 seconds on the Thermomix. But if you're doing it by hand, another 1 minute. Just whisk everything together to make sure it is well combined. Now that we've added raw egg into the mix, we're going to cook it in the Thermomix for 5 minutes at 80 degrees. So you want to make sure you adjust your heat on your stove also. That is if you're cooking this on the stove, and you're just going to continuously mix it. You're not boiling it. You're just trying to cook the egg and make sure everything is well combined. And after cooking it, you're going to cook it for about 5 minutes in the Thermomix. On the stove, I'll recommend that you cook it for about 5 minutes as well. After cooking, you're going to allow the mixture to cool down completely before placing it in the freezer to freeze. So this is me placing it in the freezer to freeze. So what I did was to allow it to freeze for about 3 hours, which at the end of 3 hours, it hadn't frozen a lot. And then I transferred it back into the Thermomix. You can do this by your blender if you want. And you're going to mix it again for about a minute on speed 5, just to allow it to give that creamy texture and easy soft serve ice cream kind of texture. So after remixing it, you're going to place it back into your freezing tins and you're going to place them in the freezer. I covered it this time because it's going to stay there for longer and I don't want people trying to take other things, dropping it in my ice cream. So this is what the ice cream looks like after 24 hours. It looks nice and ready to serve now. If you've watched this video up to this point, you are amazing and thank you so very much. Don't forget to leave your comments, leave whatever question you may have, and I will sure try my best to answer you. So this is what my ice cream looks like the following day, and I bet you I cannot wait to try this ice cream. It is always the contrast of the sweetness and the saltiness. It's just so something that I just cannot explain. And if you care to know, this is my favorite flavor of ice cream. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Do not forget to like this video. Do not forget to help me to share, help me to comment, help, do all those nice things that you usually do to help me push this video. And I will be seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.